Yeah, coach, just the end of the game there and heading into overtime as well, the ups and downs of it. The fact the team had the lead with 7 minutes to go and then wind up down, having to make a comeback. Just what kind of were your observations, at least on how that all kind of broke down the positives and negatives that pushed it to overtime, and then what did you obviously see from the team in overtime?
Yeah, I thought there was a reoccurring theme the last 10 minutes of the game. Um, they scored some baskets at the end of the clock. Happened two or three times, with 3 or 4 seconds left on the shot clock. I think we were up 4 or 5, maybe with 10 minutes to go, something like that. And they got to the basket, late, got around us, got to the basket for either a foul or a layup. And I thought that Curtis Williams, number 99, made a couple huge threes, a couple dagger threes uh, to keep them in the game. So, but the reoccurring theme was just, not keeping the ball in front at the end of the clock and either fouling at the end or allowing them to get around us for a layup.
Yeah, if I can just allow myself a follow-up then there specifically about Curtis Williams. And when you have a guy who's not necessarily the leading scorer on the team, how hard is it to, I don't say prepare is not the right word, but he might not be the primary option. So how do you kind of have to track guys like that and work with the defense to work on looking for those guys?
No, we was very aware of him. He was one of the, top 2 or 3 options. We thought he was a guy that can make, threes. So we knew we needed to, know where he was and make him put the ball on the floor. He was really a bigger 3-man more than a 4. So it was a interesting matchup for Aiden Shaw. He had to chase him off some things. He lost him one time late, but we was very aware of his abilities. We forced him into some tough shots that he made. But I thought late, he did have a few timely baskets where he kept them in the game. Between him and Rowan Brumbraw.
Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, coach, obviously a crazy finish there. Just was there a thought of getting a shot closer to the rim with a chance to tie, or were you guys going for the win all the way there?
The last shot was
Yeah, the last shot in overtime.
that was one of the 3 options. We had to look for the best shot. Obviously, when Chase Forte came off the screen, they double teamed him. So his first option was attack the basket. So he did a great thing by moving the ball. Second option was if he could get downhill, we had Aiden Shaw running to the rim on the backside, but he couldn't get downhill. So that the next option was Bowden Cap. He made the right read. Bowden took a shot. He had just made a huge one. If he make it, I guess we would have won the game. I think it was a 2-point game. Or he could have swung it to Fred. So we had multiple options, but I don't really question his shot, considering the situation of the game. He had just made a big three. So obviously he make that shot, we win the game.
Jack, go ahead.
Hey, coach, kind of building upon that, are you satisfied with how many three-pointers your team takes down the stretch and in overtime, considering, the struggles percentage-wise from behind the arc, and how do you balance that with guys going to the basket and getting maybe higher percent shots?
Yeah, overtime, I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. I would have to watch the film in overtime, you probably get 6 possessions. So we open up overtime at the rim. So got a free throw from DJ. I think he made both. So I think you get maybe 6 possessions in overtime, 6 to 7 possessions. So I'm not sure how many threes we took. I know we took 1 or 2, but I don't remember. I would have to go back and watch the film.
Dan, go ahead.
Coach, there was the three from Bowden at the end, but there was also a three-pointer in the last minute or so that was by Fred. Just necessarily those two guys developing, the last minute. Fred's had the ball a couple of times or drawn fouls in the last minute a couple of times in the first 6, 7 games. So, from an attitude standpoint, leadership standpoint, how have you kind of seen them raise up to join the team alongside Chase, where obviously DJ's kind of the primary name that everybody looks at and talks about?
Yeah, I mean, they're developing, before our eyes every day. It's unfortunate that we got to deal with some adversity, which adversity ain't always the worst thing, but it's certainly not comfortable. But we see those guys developing every day, improving, doing some good things. So I think Fred, is growing. He's growing. He's getting better. He made a huge shot late to kind of keep us in the game or even put us up. So, you know, again, I think I see him growing every day. All the players, we're going through adversity, but we got to keep pushing forward and try to learn from this adversity and get ready for the next one.
Mac, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Grant, you allowed 48 points in the paint, including 20 in the first half. Did some of those early fouls on both Hastings and Kapke kind of impact your ability to play defense down near the rim?
I think so. They got a few fouls early. We went with Aiden Shaw. They actually played a smaller lineup, so when we went to Aiden Shaw at the 5, it actually helped us. It didn't hurt us. But I think the reason the points in the paint is so high, like I said, there were maybe 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock, and we allowed them to get, they was able to attack the basket and get around us for either fouls or layups late. So, um, but I thought when we went Aiden Shaw at the 5, it actually helped us. We certainly didn't want Bowden and Jaden to have that many fouls early, but I thought Aiden Shaw helped us when we went to the 5 when we went small.
Sorry, Coach. Just with Jason Asamoah, they said he's out. Will he be back on Wednesday for you guys?
Yeah, he's out. Obviously not an injury, but just an internal situation we're working through. And so, that decision will be made here in the next day or two.
Jack, go ahead.
Can you expand at all on that internal decision, Coach?
No, sir.
All right, and a follow-up, obviously another close loss for you. What's kind of your messaging towards the team, how you guys can fix these issues? Because obviously it's been lingering this season.
Yeah, stay the course. It ain't never as bad as what you think it is, and it ain't never as good as what you think it is. And so the close games is obviously heartbreaking because you have chances to win those games and we don't finish. But the only message I got is stay the course, stay the course, continue to learn from each and every game, and hopefully that we'll be able to reach our full potential, at some point throughout the journey.
Any final questions for Earl?
Yeah, I've one. Coach, you ended the game with a timeout in your pocket. Was there any thought to use it towards the end there when you caught the ball at near half court?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I think we had 2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Um, and we had multiple options. That's the pass that Chase made. He had 3 options, but that's the pass that Chase made. Fred got a shot off. So, yeah, 2.2 seconds. No, I mean, I wasn't thinking about calling a timeout.
All right, that'll do it.
Yep, appreciate it, guy.